Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. We are Group C from Engl 1346 Sections 1. Today we are going to present about a study on sedentary issue faced by IIUM panel undergraduates during the COVID-19 pandemic. You can see on the screen this is the overview for our own presentations today. We will start with the introduction for our study. First of all, sedentary can be defined as spending a lot of time with little or no physical activity. Sedentary has become more prevalent around the world due to the lack of available workout spaces, increased occupational sedentary behavior such as office work, and the increasing use of televisions and video devices. Moving on to the backgrounds of the problem for this research, we discovered that the students are exposed to sedentary lifestyle in COVID-19 pandemic because of long-term online learning at home, and it also includes the elimination at the need to walk across campus to get courses, cafeteria or the library, and causing a result in the lack of physical activity that could lead to weight gains. Now I'm passing this to the next presenter.
In this study, we highlighted three research objectives. Firstly, to identify the cause of a person living a sedentary lifestyle. There must be some reason why some people live a sedentary lifestyle. Thus, one of our primary concerns is highlighted in this paper. Next, to point out the effect to a person if they were living in a sedentary lifestyle. The consequence to a person might be different or it could be like one another. And throughout this study, we managed to find a few familiar effects, as some of us experience the same thing. Lastly, to explore the prevention of living a sedentary lifestyle. When there are effects, it must have prevention to prevent our lifestyle from something dangerous such as sedentary lifestyle. For our research question, we managed to identify three of it. First and foremost, what is the cause of living a sedentary lifestyle? For this question, we came out with the most likely reasons that might be happen to anyone. Next, does living an inactive lifestyle affect their health? It is supposed to have an impact on their lifestyle because we are aware that a sedentary lifestyle is not something that we can be proud of. Lastly, is there any prevention of living a sedentary lifestyle? We shall explore a few ways to prevent a sedentary lifestyle from having a balanced lifestyle. Our limitation of the study, we managed to identify three of it. The first one is there were respondents who ignored some questions in the questionnaire. This could put a major effect on our research since we depend on their responses to collect the data. Next, there were lack of interaction with respondents as the interview was conducted online. It is because not everyone is having a good internet range and we couldn't ask more questions because of the limited time that we have. Lastly, we only focus on IIUM panel undergraduates that are considered as our respondents for the questionnaire. The research could be done very well if we conduct the research publicly. If so, we could have various of responses from many different age range. Next, the significance of this study is we managed to conduct a correlation between sedentary lifestyle and online learning towards IIUM panel undergraduates during this pandemic. From what we can see, online learning does correlate with sedentary lifestyle. It is because most of them always sit at their own place and rarely going out to take a fresh air. Next, the respondents will find out the prevention of sedentary lifestyles throughout this study. We figured some precaution on how to avoid living in a sedentary lifestyle so that the respondents will have some idea on how to avoid it. Lastly, sedentary lifestyle can actually make an effect in their lifestyle if they're continuously living in that way. Thus, throughout this study, somehow we can figure out the effects of living in a sedentary lifestyle to a person.
For methodology, two types of methods are used in this study to prove the relevance of the topic discussed, which are questionnaire and interview. Questionnaire has been chosen as one of the methods used as the questionnaire can be easily separated to the target respondents via social media platforms like WhatsApp and Telegram. There are two parts created in the questionnaire created using Google Form. The first part is only aimed to know about the IIUM panel undergraduates' knowledge on the sedentary issues during the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, the second part is focused on more detailed questions regarding their experience of being sedentary during the COVID-19 pandemic. For example, questions regarding how sedentary lifestyle affects their life during the COVID-19 pandemic and the ways to resolve sedentary issues. Thus, only the results from the second questionnaire are taken. The questionnaire was conducted among IIUM panel undergraduates and targeted to 33 respondents as a total of 19 female and 14 male respondents. The second method is interviewing the targets. The interview was chosen as one of the methods used as the interview encouraged personal interaction with the targets and allowed them to express their ideas in their own words. The interview has been done through Google Meet. In the interview, there are a few questions that the researcher asked to the targets. For example, their opinion about sedentary lifestyle during the COVID-19 pandemic, their experience being sedentary and how they cope with the sedentary issue. The interviews were being recorded by the researcher and the data is written up as a transcript that can be evaluated afterwards. The interview was conducted among IIUM panel undergraduates who have answered the questionnaire, in which the researcher only selected 2 out of 33 respondents to be interviewed, which are 1 female and 1 male.
Now we have reached the finding of the research. The study was conducted at Islamic International University Malaysia, IIUM, and the respondents were panel undergraduate from IIUM. They were selected using interview approach and questionnaire. It employed the qualitative interview transcript method and primary quantitative research methods. As shown in this pie chart, the data reveals that 66.7% of the respondents are Malaysian undergraduates. Meanwhile, 33.3% of the respondents include 9% of non-Malaysian undergraduates. This has led to conclusions that female respondents are dominating the research, which is 57.6% of them. Meanwhile, male respondents are 42.4% due to several limitations during this research. For questions 1, 76.8% of the respondents reveal their understanding of sedentary lifestyle. Meanwhile, 24.2% of the respondents reveal their first time hearing the term of sedentary. For questions 4, the finding also revealed that 69.6% of the respondents in the age of 18 to 20 years old choose no for these questions. Meanwhile, 7 respondents in the age 21 to 24 years old exhibit the same responses. The questions 4 has shown a correlation with questions 5, which is the amounts of disagree in the former questions related with the highest amounts of minimum time spent in sedentary, and it shows with most majority of respondents choose not to respond more than 1 hour. For questions 5, most the respondents agree with the limit of less than 1 hour for minimum time in sedentary activity. Meanwhile, 21.2% choose 30 minutes per day and 24.2% choose more than 1 hour. The responses from questions 5 show a correlation with question 6, which is the finding revealed that 72.7% of the respondents agree with the statement that sedentary is dangerous. Meanwhile, 27.3% of the respondents disagree with the statement. The reason for the answer in question 6 can be seen in question 7, which is 27.3% of the respondents state that some people do not have the motivation to do anything and it leads to sedentary lifestyle due to mental illness. 12% of the responses claim the changes in general lifestyle nowadays has led to sedentary lifestyle due to technology advances. Now we will move on to the next presenter.
I'm going to talk about the causes and the effects of sedentary lifestyle and how to prevent ourselves from living a sedentary lifestyle.
There are 6 causes that we put in the questionnaire, which are playing video games, watching television, using computer or mobile phone, reading book, laying down, and last, environmental factors such as traffic congestion, lack of sport facilities, air pollution, and the spread of disease. In the game, 46.67% of the respondents agree that playing video game is one of the causes that everyone living a sedentary lifestyle activity to be done during the leisure time. However, stay seated all day is a problem. Next, we have watching television. 40% of the respondents agree that watching television is one of the contributors for someone to live a sedentary lifestyle. There was a lot of show and interesting drama in the television, therefore everyone loves to spend lots of time watching television, which is not good for their health. Next, we have using computer and mobile phone. Due to the pandemic COVID-19, everyone has to stay inside of their house because of the movement control order. Therefore, they use lots of computer and mobile phone. Most of the time they use their mobile phone to look for news, or maybe play some games in the phone, or maybe communicate with their relative who were not living with them. Therefore, it is reasonable why this can cause someone to be living a sedentary lifestyle. Most of the time, you're not using your phone while standing. And obviously, you're not going to use your computer while standing. Therefore, it is obvious that someone prone to be living a sedentary lifestyle when they are using computer and mobile phone. Based on the finding, there are 53.33% of the respondents strongly agree that the use of computer and mobile phone are one of the major causes of someone living a sedentary lifestyle. For reading books, most of the respondents choose neutral because they think that reading a book is a must, especially for students, and also it's like the less likely to be a problem compared to playing video game or watching television or using computer or mobile phone. Therefore, they think that reading a book is not a problem, it's not one of the main contributors to someone living a sedentary lifestyle. 33.33% of the respondents strongly agree that laying down can cause someone to living a sedentary lifestyle. This is because when you lay down, your whole body is not moving and you're not doing any activity. 50% of the respondents agree that environmental factors can cause someone to living a sedentary lifestyle, especially during the pandemic COVID-19. During the pandemic COVID-19, everyone was advised to stay inside and not allowed to go outside unless you have something to do like buying necessities or household item. However, if there are no need for that, you're not allowed to go outside. Because of that, some people don't like to do workout inside of their house and they choose to do something else instead of exercising.
Moving on to the effect of sedentary. There are two major effects of sedentary, which is physical health and mental health. Sedentary does affect our physical health and also our mental health. For physical health, 14 respondents strongly agree that sedentary affect physical health. How it affect our physical health? It's because when we've been sitting all day long, we tend to having backache because we've been crouching while sitting and focus on our work. Therefore, it's time for us to have backache. Other than that, because we only been sitting and being inactive, our calorie was not burned, even though we eat 3 times a day or more than that or less than that, because we eat every single day and we have the calorie, but we never burn the calorie. Therefore, what will happen to us? We tend to be obese. In terms of mental health, 11 respondents strongly agree that sedentary affect our mental health. How? We probably question why did sedentary affect our mental health when we're just sitting down not doing anything. Isn't it supposed to be a good thing when we watching television? But the problem is when you are sitting down and not doing anything, it's actually cause you depression and anxiety, and probably you don't really realize that until a certain level. When you just think that you easily stressed and easily mad, you're short of temper, that's one of the symptoms that you are having a mental problem. That's why sitting down or being inactive is actually not good for our physical and our mental. As we already talked about the causes and the effects, we're moving on to the preventing action. We know the causes and we know what is the effect of the sedentary. So we need to avoid ourselves from living a sedentary lifestyle. Therefore, we need to know how to avoid that by knowing the preventing action that we can do. In the questionnaire, there are 5 preventing actions that we can do to prevent ourselves from being sedentary. 1. Set a reminder to stand up every 30 minutes without walking at the desk. 56.67% of the respondents agree that this preventing action is useful. I know as we are all need to do everything online classes, online work from home, everything needs to be online and we need to stay seated at the desk. Therefore, we are tend to be sedentary without we realize, and we don't have any choice. So by setting a reminders to stand up every 30 minutes can be helpful. And when we set a reminder, we not only help ourselves to prevent ourselves from being sedentary, it's also let us know that we have been seated for quite long. And then we just have to stand up and just do a brief walking. Next, exercise regularly. Obviously, I know and I'm sure everyone knows this, that exercise is really good for our body. It's not only for our physical health, it's also for our mental health. So, based on the finding, 56.60% of the respondents strongly agree that exercise regularly can help ourselves to prevent ourselves from being sedentary. We know that exercise is good because it eliminates negativity from our body. It eliminates toxic and it also burns calories. So obviously we're not going to get our best if we exercise regularly. Therefore, it's really advisable for us to exercise regularly. According to the World Health Organization, the suggestion for us to exercise regularly is 30 minutes 3 times a week. At least if we are kind of busy, just doing 30-minute exercise 3 times a week is enough for us who living a healthy lifestyle. Moving on, develop active hobbies. 46.67% of the respondents strongly agree that develop active hobbies can help us to prevent ourselves from living a sedentary lifestyle. The active hobby can be anything as long as it forces us to move around. It can be cycling, it can be playing badminton, and also it can be window shopping for those who love to shopping. I'm sure this can be one of new and nice hobby that you can have. Window shopping, some might think that it's a waste of time and money. But window shopping, you're not driving in the shopping complex, obviously. Therefore, it's really good for us because while browsing from store to store, it takes a lot of time and we need to walk. Not to mention browsing at one store when you are just browsing, looking for things that you think you want to buy but you're not. Just calculate how many steps that you have to take when you are doing the window shopping. Next, we have walking. Walk more. 43.33% of the respondents strongly agree that walking can help us to prevent ourselves from living a sedentary lifestyle. How? Just brief walking. It might seem like you're just walking, but it's actually burn calories and you also keep ourselves healthy. According to the Health Organization, we are advisable to at least walking 10,000 steps every single day. 10,000 steps, if your hobby is window shopping, I'm sure you can reach that with ease. Because 10,000 steps is actually not that much, but not everyone can do so. For those who don't like to do vigorous activities, it is advisable for us to do walking. Last but not least, doing house chores. As we are in the pandemic, and years ago, we are under movement control order when we are forced to stay inside. We can stay active by helping our family members doing the house chores. And 52.30% of the respondents agree that doing house chores can help ourselves to prevent ourselves from living a sedentary lifestyle. Instead of sitting down, playing video games, watching television, play with your smartphone, when you're doing house chores, you not only keep your house clean and tidy, but also keep your body healthy. That's all from me. Thank you. The presentation will be continued by my friend.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Natasha Rahman with metric number 1708046, and I'm going to talk about recommendations here. Here's the tip from for home-based physical activity and sedentary behavior interruption. There's a robust health rationale for avoiding sedentary lifestyle, wherever staying active at home in the carbon precarious environment due to COVID-19. And first one, physically activity from avoiding sedentary behavior. For example, a daily 30-minute walk, doing short physical activity like house chores, gardening, or fun activity such as dancing. Second one, the university are urged to look into this and stay in touch with IUM panel students because most of IUM panel students have never experienced sedentary lifestyle. It appears that the influence of sedentary lifestyle is a concern that will harm students' health in the future. And the university can help IUM panel students future by organizing activities that encourage them to live a less sedentary behavior while they are conducting online classes, and this problem will also serve as a remedy when IUM panel students begin living online again in the future. Because after all, we don't know what will happen in the future, right? So from now on, let's step to live a more active lifestyle. Have a flexible class schedule. To avoid sedentary during online classes, it is recommended for the lectures not to having more than 1 hour lecture. It is to help the students to take a short break from long-term sitting in front of the laptop. And the last one, we have conclusion. First, we all can analyze our panel undergraduates' perceptions on sedentary lifestyle during online learning due to COVID-19. Second, we managed to know our panel undergraduates' knowledge about sedentary behavior or lifestyle. The third one, we would like to raise an awareness about sedentary lifestyle among IUM panel undergraduates. That's all from us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.